Hi, this is George,
And this is Chris.
and we're here to talk about Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we're also here to talk about the Wii U in general, I guess. Uh,
Yeah, and there will be
we're
spoilers.
gonna freeform these spoilers.
All
So, any thoughts about first? Let's do initial thoughts about the Wii U in general. Like,
right. Well, I think I'm biased because I was an early adopter of the Wii U. I think I bought it like day two. I would have got it day one, but I had a test that day and I was just, yeah, so I got it like day two or something. And I thought it was a great little system for the price, right? It was like $300 at the time.
I think it's
And
still $300.
No, I think now it's 250. I don't know. The Switch is 300, so like uh
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean. I meant to say the Switch because I bought a
oh.
Switch. I'm
Oh,
playing.
are you talking about I thought you were talking about the Wii U.
I'm playing the Breath of the Wild on the Switch. Can you play Breath of the Wild on the Wii U?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I said why you said Wii U ergonomics. See, this is the failure of Nintendo in a nutshell, even if you don't know the difference between a Wii U and a Switch.
Honestly, I just forgot I was holding a Switch.
Oh my goodness. So
Even
the
says on
Wii
the back
U
Switch.
is the tablet controller and then console separate. Last gen.
Sorry, I've never actually played the Wii U
Okay. Well,
extensively.
I
So
realized I thought like this. I didn't realize you got the Switch. I guess I should have put two and two together. But when you said Wii U, I was like, oh, I guess you played it on the Wii U because Legend of Zelda came out on that too.
wait, did did I text you I was gonna buy a Wii U?
No, I don't know. I don't remember. I think you said Switch on it. Yeah, you asked me if I should buy a Switch. Yeah, but I don't know. You typed Wii U, so this is not on me.
I've forgotten already.
I
I'm
even
tired of
put
these
I even
names.
put Wii U versus Switch as one of the things. So you have no excuse.
I forgot everything, man. I
That's
forgot how
fine.
to English.
Anyway, so I guess if you're asking about the Switch, I like at first my hands like it's not even at first, it's still like my hands get cramped when I play it with like the controllers on the screen. But in general, I just take it off and I like freeform and it feels fine after that. Like I can do that all day.
Yeah, I'm not particularly what's it called? Sold on the whole Switch controllers next to the screen because that really hurts.
Yeah, it's hard to hold. They're not very curvy, I guess.
Yeah. So actually, the real reason why I bought this was because I was walking around to sober up after work, and I there was a GameStop, and I was like, might as well go inside. And so inside there was the Switch, and I was like, oh, it's in stock again. And I looked at it, I was like, I could probably play this while I take the metro to work, because nowadays I have like an hour commute, half
Oh,
an hour on the metro, half an hour driving to the metro.
oh,
And you're complaining about your like hour long commute. Sorry for the side tangent.
right.
I was excited about the Switch
Yep.
because I was like, I could play this on the metro, and
That's
I did
awesome.
once. Yeah,
Nice ones.
I think it was once.
You
Yeah,
got to use them more, man. I don't know.
I not gonna lie. After I'm not as impressed. Spoiler alert! I'm not as impressed with Breath of the Wild as much as I was hyped up to be.
Well, I think you got in late in the game, and so like you got all the hype, like all of it. I basically like I watched the Nintendo presentations and I got hyped for myself, but I like didn't really do anything with it. I just kind of sat on it, and so when it came out, I just played it, and I was like, "Oh man, I had a good time." But then like everyone's like, "Oh my God, this game is like the best game in the world."
Yeah, that's
I
that's
mean,
what
it was a good game, and I had a great time. But like, I spent like 110 hours on it. But once I finished it, I was like, all right. Like, I wasn't compelled to keep going, honestly.
yeah.
Uh,
I understand. I
like,
honestly,
but I can see where some people like could enjoy it and like enjoy efficiency and like maximizing it, and like I can see it as a speedrunning game. I totally see it. And I wasn't even down to do all the Korok seeds. Like, I'm like, all right, whatever. Like. I'm
nobody
not
should do that.
on the bar on like the how like they categorize players that like I'm not an explorer kind of person very
Yeah, you're
often
you're
or
talking about Bartle's taxonomy.
Yes, yes. I'm not an explorer. I'm a little bit, but not much. So like I kind of have a cap. And I'm also not really an achiever, like one of those like, or is it collector or is it called achiever? I forget.
I
The
believe
one
it's
that
an
likes
achiever.
achievement. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
achiever. The one that likes
completionist
collects. Yeah,
is
that
another
one.
word.
Yeah. I'm not like much of both. So like that game is basically meant for those guys. And the only other sliver I could maybe fall into is that like the mastery track and like I really just want to speed run this game. But I've never been a guy who speed runs either, so
Whoa,
that's that's why my Breath of the Wild life ended once I beat the game. I was like, oh, okay, well.
speaking of speedrunning, I have tried speedrunning a little bit.
Oh, which game? Which game?
Dark Souls 3.
Oh my goodness.
I think my time is like 4 hours because I always fuck up.
What's the world record?
Probably 45 minutes,
Oh my goodness.
somewhere around there. It depends on how aggressive you want to be with the patch version.
Oh, I see.
I think you can get it down to like 30 or 20.
Do you
But
like the really crazy speed runs, like the Super Mario World speed run?
honestly, I think Dark Souls is pretty simple to speedrun. It,
Yeah, just don't get hit.
um, it's just you just like if you're not gonna do any of the crazy skips, there's only two things you need to really get good at, and the first thing you need to get good at is quitting out. So you have to quit out because like if you quit out certain places, the doors will open and you'll skip certain cutscenes.
All right.
And then the next thing is if you quit out at a specific time you land, then you will you won't die. You won't take fall damage. So if you just do those two things, you can cut your time down to 4 hours or so. It's
I see, I see.
because you'll know exactly like where to go. You'll pick
Yeah.
up some items. These items are like ridiculously overpowered. They are like the strongest items in the game. The only hard part would be fighting the actual bosses, I guess. But if it's your second playthrough, you should have no problem.
Right, you know all the strats and what to do and everything, yeah.
Yeah. So even though I spoiled that I'm not as impressed with this game, I would probably still give this game a thumbs up.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely. And depending on what category you lump it in, I might give it a few stars to be honest.
Oh wow.
Um,
Well, what category do you think Breath of the Wild deserves to be in?
this is a really weird conversation I've had with a lot of designers at work. Um, and everyone seems to say that Zelda this one is just a combat RPG.
I felt like it was sort of like Ocarina of Time, right? Because in Ocarina you could go around wherever you want, quote unquote.
No, in Ocarina you really couldn't, right? There was a lot of gates. In this one, it was a lot more free for sure.
Well, yeah.
But the combat gameplay is very similar though. Like there's a lot of Z targeting and
I thought
stuff
there was.
and skills like that. But
I thought in Ocarina, like if you just took out all the gates and say, "Oh, you can go anywhere you want," it'd be the same because there's that whole.
yeah, but if you did that and like the game was geared with content to serve that, which it wasn't.
Yeah, obviously they just I believe it was partially technology.
Well, yeah, obviously, right? Like in 64, come on, man. Plus, I think at that moment, they were just more worried about the transition to 3D and like using 3D to make a personal attachment to characters through the story and stuff. So.
And then they never brought Navi back again.
Ah, no.
I'm sorry. Anyways.
Hey, Majora's Mask, kind of, right? She's there.
Oh, okay. That's because they didn't get enough feedback yet. Majora's
Oh,
Mask was basically done by that point. They can't just say,
Yeah, they did it in like a year. It's crazy.
Anyways, yeah.
All right.
I'm not so sure what genre I'd give this. I
Yeah,
feel like
people keep calling it like combat open world role playing game. I don't know. It's weird. What would you say it is?
I feel like it is kind of similar to GTA where you can kind of go anywhere. Except instead of there being people everywhere, there's just wildlife.
And there's like a main storyline that you can go through.
Yeah, just like Nico and you're bowling.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, like you can go around, you can catch bugs, which funny enough is in Metal Gear Solid 3. Like I felt like, is this a Japanese thing? Are they obsessed with catching bugs?
I think so. I think isn't that like a thing? I don't
Yeah,
know. I might just be
this is our
like
anime
a
bias.
little racist, yeah, or anime bias, but like almost every kid apparently collects bugs when they're when they're little kids or whatever.
Yeah, I mean technically I feel like I did that, but to a lot less
You,
degree.
yeah. Oh,
Like
I
we
mean, I did
played
it
with
for like
bugs.
a week or two. Like I didn't make it a hobby.
Yeah, we didn't capture bugs and keep them forever. We just kind of
Yeah,
we just kind of
yeah.
poked around and played with them.
I mean, there's nothing else to do, so like, and then the Game Boys became a thing, and I was like, well, fuck this.
Yeah, so I think it's fair to say it's in the same genre as GTA, so it's basically
All
just
right,
an
if
open
that's the
world
case, if you're just
RPG.
saying open world RPG, no stars, honestly. But
Well,
thumbs up for sure. Like two thumbs up, honestly. It's a great game. Like
I,
give it a shot.
I'm
Play it through
curious,
once.
what would be like the top three open world
Oh,
RPG? Because I don't
that's
really,
such a tough question, dude,
I feel like I
honestly.
don't like any of them.
Well, like you still have to give three of them, right? Like
Oh God, I don't
that's how
I
it
don't think I've
works.
even played three of them.
No way. Of course, you haven't played like even recent ones like Witcher. You haven't played Witcher.
Okay, I have played Witcher.
Like, would you count Fallout's in there?
Yeah,
Fallout New
I would.
Vegas. Like, there's a lot of great games in these categories, but like we're being very broad now, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's
this is a
crazy.
pretty broad category.
Yeah.
How about like it still felt like a Zelda game, you know? Like
Yeah, well, you still had all the classic items and the theme is set. But I really loved the sense of adventure. Like everything was about just getting there. Like the Koroks puzzles were like always brain dead simple. The challenge was always finding them.
the Korok, I basically run into Korok puzzles by accident.
Yeah, sometimes you're just
It's
like, I'm gonna go over here. Oh, hey.
He's like, congratulations for doing something stupid. I was like, huh? What's going on?
Yeah, the first time I picked up a random rock and he was under, I was like, wow, are you serious? That was silly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but like honestly, it was a great game, but I had a lot of peeves with it, honestly.
Ooh,
Yeah,
peeves.
the main one I had has got to be the crafting system. Holy hell, I wanted to punch someone when I had to craft stuff, dude, just the whole time.
So what was wrong with Breath of the Wild, and what is your ideal crafting system? Because I have my own ideal.
I
I'm
I
curious
don't
about
know if I
yours.
have an ideal crafting system. I think in general, crafting systems in themselves are very archaic in a game design world because you end up just making a spreadsheet and to me that's not as fun. Like even if you just have to like have this element of discovery when you cook, like what, come on, like someone's just gonna have a guide and I ain't got time for that shit. Like if it's not fun and it's just like mixing random shit, whatever, right? Like it's not, I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
right?
So in this game, you would just prefer if like there's some magical box that button that just said craft everything into the most optimal food,
Yeah,
and then boop,
yeah.
your
And then
just
in
inventory
one
is
go
filled.
as well, because like holy hell, to craft in that game, you have to battle the UI so badly. You have to first of all go to your inventory and then make sure you're in the items where you can hold. Then you have to like fucking physically hold these items. But and you can only hold like you have to go into like
Five.
this little sub menu to like select this one. Okay, hold it. How many? Two. Okay, press OK. And then like you gotta go through that whole thing for all your ingredients, all five of them. And then he does the fucking animation that lasts years. Even if you skip it, you still have like the loading screen or whatever. And then like that's one, and then you gotta repeat that over and over and over again. And that is frustrating to no end. I it was the worst thing about that game.
Yeah, I can feel you for that. Although I have a very strange experience of Breath of the Wild compared to you.
Why?
Uh, I think I already told you this, but after the first tutorial area,
Yeah.
I essentially just said I'm gonna go straight to Ganon's castle, and now I'm outside the final boss room, and I guess I have to leave because I'm not strong enough to kill him.
Wait, so you haven't finished the game yet?
No, I
Oh
haven't.
wow, okay.
But
So I finished the game. Spoilers. So you haven't. How far have you gone? You said you went straight to Ganon. That was a ballsy
Yeah,
move.
so there's the lightning, like what's it called, demon boss thing. He has a sword and a shield. I
Yep.
I basically get stuck on him, and I looked up the speed run after him, so I know that the actual final boss is after him.
Yep.
And the way speedrunners do is you need a specific like beetle and certain fish to craft the ultimate damage potion, and then you can just like wail on the bosses and kill them like
Yeah.
two
Yeah. Yeah.
seconds flat. And if I ever find that stupid beetle, I might just go back here and kill the boss.
Hey, good on you, man. But you should also do the dungeons.
Okay, because I haven't done any dungeons outside of the
Yeah,
starting
you
area.
should just go do the four dungeons. I love the dungeon layout. The bosses are pretty boring, to be honest. All of them, they're kind of lackluster, but the dungeon aspect was pretty cool. Like every dungeon is this like really huge like mechanical creature, and you can manipulate its poses, and that like manipulates the level and what you can access, and it's like a really nice little puzzle, like what you would expect out of a Zelda dungeon puzzle. And it's just four of them, and they're really nicely, tightly crafted, but it's not a lot. That's the only problem. There needed to be more.
By the way, I'm sorry we already kind of skipped past this part, but I feel like one of the top three open world games would probably be Mountain Blade.
Now you're getting really broad with this
Oh my god. Yeah, man.
this genre.
I just want everything to be Mountain Blade, man.
I think Mountain Blade defines like I don't know what you call that genre,
Oh,
honestly.
I
Is
think
it like
it's like Battlefront.
domination? Battlefront?
Yeah, like imagine Civilization. You're playing
Yeah, it's like
Civ.
yeah.
You don't you're controlling an avatar though, so you're
Yeah.
basically Alexander the Great on a horse.
Yeah, like giving orders and shit.
Yeah, and you're on the battlefront. You're not
Right,
like in
right,
an RTS view. You can be shot with arrows. You can shoot arrows. Everyone
right.
is more or less as strong as you. So that's the battlefront aspect, the battlefield.
Huh.
And then yeah, you command your armies and just go around. There's no real there's no real like objective. I guess they didn't really tell you very
You just
well.
gotta conquer everything. That's
Yeah,
the point.
basically kill everyone. I mean, conquer them. Don't kill them.
Uh-huh.
So I
What's
know I
up?
put down Wii U in the Switch notes. Oh, sorry, I put Wii U in the show notes, but I actually just wanted to talk about the Switch ergonomics because that's the one I actually use and own.
Huh? Yeah, me too.
So I tried Mario Kart 8 on the Switch,
Right?
and I tried it with the mode where you just put the controllers on the side of the screen, so you treat it like a tablet.
Yeah, and it's like a motion controller wheel.
Yes, and I got hand cramps after about an hour. So
Yeah, I wouldn't use that.
I think it has to do with the controllers. Like, it's weird because in there's the like look around joystick,
Yeah.
and then there's like ABXY, and you can't really do both of those at the same time.
Yep.
And good luck running and looking around while playing Breath of the Wild because this ergonomics just does not let you do that.
Yeah, I find it very uncomfortable holding the controllers while it's on the screen, like a tablet. It's very uncomfortable for me. So I generally just take it off and play with my hands separated.
Yeah, I'm not so sure why. Maybe it's they need like something to
To cup my hand a
yeah
little more so it's
yeah so
not
it's
like
not a tablet.
awkwardly, yeah. Yeah.
Like I thought it
But
would be
then
okay.
it's like not flat, right? And then it's
Yeah,
yeah,
it
but
needs to
honestly
pop out.
honestly I wouldn't be against having like a GameCube-esque like wing that attaches as a Joy-Con. So like you just put two GameCube edge, like it's nice round, something you can grip.
Okay.
I would go for that, honestly.
Yeah. It was pretty neat that you can fit the Switch in your pocket, assuming you have
The little
large
Joy-Con.
manly pockets.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a girl, you can just put it in your purse, right?
Yeah, and then if you're wearing tight pants, well, you're screwed.
Yep.
So don't wear tight pants, kids.
Oh, learn your lesson.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't really have that many problems. I really like the aesthetic and the design, but man, these controllers, it's hard to play Mario Kart, you know? Like I
Uh,
found myself doing this weird claw grip on my controller. And to be fair, I think Xbox and like PlayStation kind of suffer from this where your thumb is sort of overworked, it has too many things to do.
Yeah, I agree. And also, PlayStation controller makes me uncomfortable because like I'm not used to having both my thumbs in the same level. Like I have my thumbs are just like naturally at an offset now because of years of conditioning.
Okay. I didn't
Like
expect that.
like my right hand expects my thumb to be on the bottom and my left hand expects it to be on the top for some reason.
Okay.
It's just conditioning, I assume. So when PlayStation requires me to do it like same level, it freaks me out.
I'm actually kind of curious. Like, do you feel Zelda as a whole, Breath of the Wild, was better because it was open world, or do you feel like they should have, scaled back the open worldness? Because
I I think the direction and design was on point. I felt like I wanted to adventure and collect things and figure out how things worked and interacted and then use that to like fight better. And like I like the wilderness aspect of it where you lose your weapons, but you know where to find the same kind of weapon so you could go farm any weapon you want if you really wanted to. And because of that, it allowed for like little moments for like, oh, you blowed up this, so you found this like cave, and you can go in this cave and fight a little mini boss, and then at the end you get like a really cool sword, but like since they already it's gonna break, like you feel good that you found something that you like, oh, I can use this for later, and like it was worth it to do this like little side mission that was a little like pocket of gameplay. And it made all those worth it. And so I kept exploring, and I felt like I wanted to keep going. In that respect, it nailed it. But I think they kind of went too big, and because there's a lot of open empty space.
yeah,
And it was just a lot of walking sometimes with no gameplay. And
that's how America works, by the way. If you ever cross the American countryside.
oh yeah, oh yeah. But like that's not how like you need to make this game, right? I don't know. Like I really do think that they needed to have some more content or shrink the world because it was too much. Like yeah.
That's hilarious. Because American Truck Simulator
Oh
is
my goodness.
essentially an open world, specifically the U.S. world.
Yeah. Do they map it like one to one?
It's pretty realistic. From
Wow.
from what I'm told, it's like this is the real American Google Earth countryside, and you can
Wow.
experience driving across America without just
But it's
wasting
only
a ton of
certain
gas.
routes, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. um, and as someone who has driven across the American countryside, it's pretty boring. So
Don't do it.
try. No, I'm not gonna say don't do it. Just try it out in American Truck Simulator before you
Okay.
figure out if it's for you.
That's fair.
And I think there's a difference between voluntarily sitting down and playing a video game and exploring a world versus exploring the real world and having to deal with temperature, sunburns,
Right.
food. You can't just go to the bathroom anywhere, or you could if you want to. But you would have to stop, like stop your physical car. Anyways, I got a little sidetracked. The open worldness of Zelda, there's obviously, I think, a range of open worldness they could do. They could do it like you start in one location, which is what they did, and then you
Yeah.
can, branch out immediately. But for Zelda, they have a starting area, and then they branch out to four separate little dungeons, like you said. I think they're biomes, right?
Yeah, they are definitely biomes. There's like the water biome, the
Fire.
desert, the fire. Yeah, you,
And then are those the four like major biomes, and then there's Ganon's fortress, or they're like little biomes that don't really have anything in them?
no, no, that's basically it. There's like big four biomes, but each biome has like regions as well, or like mountains, or like a pit, or like hey, there's like a hidden city here or something. So it's cool and varied, but like in general, it's four big biomes, and like there's they separated just to kind of have that art direction and enemy composition. To have a sense of different world sides, I guess.
Yeah. So in this game, you don't have to do a specific order. Although,
Yep.
is there a particular order that you feel is actually like the best play experience.
I mean, I did even though you can basically after the tutorial go and kill Ganon if you were really good, I guess. I think you should still do the dungeon. So I would say you would do the water dungeon first, but I didn't do that. Honestly, I did the air one, the bird person. Yeah. But I think you're supposed to like do the water one first because she gives you as a reward like ice arrows. And by that time I was like, all right, thanks. I've got a lot of these.
That's hilarious because I have a ton of high level equipment because I went straight to Ganon,
Yeah.
and I actually managed to kill like a ton of people.
I think they expect you to go to the water one right after like
I mean,
you
do
get
they give you a quest? It's
they
like
yeah
go
they,
to the water
they
area.
they basically say like you should probably go there first.
I think the king literally said going
Yeah.
straight for Ganon is foolish, and then I
Yes.
said that's you're not the boss of me, Ghost King. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Anyways, it
but
was
yeah,
pretty foolish.
do the four dungeons and then like do some of the open world to get like really, and then like if you're really scared to go meet Ganon, which I was, and I just want to play more of the game, do some more Koroks, get the Master Sword, and then fight Ganon. Yeah.
Ooh, the Master Sword.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Does it not break?
It like runs out of energy and you can't use it the same way like it's broken,
And
but
then
it recharges over time.
okay,
Yeah.
I was like, does the Master Sword break too?
Yeah.
Like that would be so funny. You just
Yeah.
throw the Master Sword at Ganon, and it just breaks.
Yeah, but like honestly though, I'm like I don't think I'm gonna get a DLC.
Okay.
Like yeah, eh.
Yeah. So
I still have to finish the Mario Rabbids, Rayman Legends, and maybe play Arms. I still haven't played Arms.
Mario Rabbids looks just like XCOM, and
It
you
is
know,
basically XCOM.
you know me, man. Like anything that is like XCOM, even just a little bit,
You want to?
I really like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good, dude. It has a lot of character.
Except D&D, like actual D&D, real life. I don't like that. That's a little
Uh,
too
That's
little
too
too
much.
much.
Too hardcore. Then you're getting into the minis world and
Yeah, the what's it called? War Games World?
Warhammer.
Yeah, Warhammer. Sorry. Yeah, it is Warhammer.
There's
Never mind.
Warhammer. There's a bunch, dude. Don't get sucked in. Like
Yeah.
Magic's already expensive. Don't get into that.
Speaking of Magic, there's some follow up I wanted to talk about Magic the Gathering. They stopped supporting Magic Duels, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, because they're making Magic Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy's working on it. He's here in
Whoa.
Renton.
Damn, son.
Hey, man.
Is it actually like a machine learning algorithm that figures out how to do all the code?
Really? I don't know. I haven't heard about it, but
That's
that
what it said on
sounds-
their website. They
That
have
sounds
like
crazy.
a natural language processor that figures out the rules on how Magic the Gathering cards work.
What?
I was like,
So they just made a judge, basically.
I think that's ridiculous. I don't. That's why I'm asking you. Like, does it actually work like that?
I don't know. Like this is the first time I'm hearing about it, but it
It's
sounds
on their website, you know.
it
so-
sounds like they've made an AI judge that's gonna be like, this is how we judge the game. And they just make cards by like printing it and saying, okay, judge, you figure it out.
Yeah, like that
See how to
sounds
interpret tension.
bizarre, you know, because there's actual.
I mean, it makes
rules.
sense. No, it makes sense though, right? Like, if we can make the rules, then the rules exist, right? And there's like a logical ordering to it. Then this AI should theoretically be able to learn and like decipher what the words we put on paper actually mean. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hard thing to explain, but it makes sense. Like, I think this could work. I just don't know how much we can trust it. I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting for sure. That's
So-
really interesting.
So another thing I was thinking about, the Breath of the Wild, does it really have to be open world? You know, it could have easily just been there's the starting area and then there's a giant, you know, like it could be like the Grand Canyon where you can only go straight through the canyon and there would be the water zone, the wind zone, fire,
I
etc.
mean, it didn't need to be, right? I don't think any open world game needs to be as open world as it is. An open world is a gradient. In Zelda, it just means you can go straight to the boss, right? If they required you to go to like the 4 dungeons before you began in or whatever, it takes away that sense of freedom that you have that empowers you to go on adventure and find the nooks and crannies and find the Korok seeds, and you know it gives you a different motive and way of thinking about what your objective of the game is. Like you want to go and do that shit. You want to beat the guy, not because
Not because
the
the Ghost
game
King
told
told you
you
to.
to go there, but because you found out this world is fucked and you want to save it, you know? I think that's the main distinction, and I think, it paid off to make it the way that they did.
Okay, that's interesting. Cause when I played Mountain Blade, here we go.
All right, here we go. Down the rabbit hole.
I know, right? So Mountain Blade, it was like, have you played Wasteland 2?
Oh, I haven't played Wasteland 2.
Really? Okay, well, now I have to describe Wasteland 2.
I mean, I know what it is.
Well, you just control like a little pawn on a map,
Yeah.
and then you tell where your pawn is moving, you know? And so it's like, is that open world? You're not exactly walking around a 3D environment. You're just moving a pawn around the map.
I mean,
Because that's essentially what Mountain Blade does. And then
Right.
anytime you actually get into a fight, you're gonna have a combat encounter, just like Final Fantasy.
Right.
It'll go into the combat scene, and then the actual gameplay will happen. And then that's
Oh,
it.
man.
That's literally, there's nothing else. Like you just control a pawn in a quote unquote open world, so you could technically go anywhere.
Yeah.
But they just cut out like, what I feel like is the big problem with a lot of open world is that whole look at this open world of nothing,
Right, exactly.
And in the real life, when you go to the Grand Canyon, you might see it's a giant hole in the ground. It's a giant open world of nothing.
I mean, so it's true to the world.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
but do we need to do that in games?
Yeah, exactly. Like games, they don't have to make a giant open world of nothing.
Yeah, we need to make a giant open world, but of a lot of stuff. Like what? Yeah, I think Zelda was way thin, for sure.
Yeah,
It tasted like one of the. It was like, I guess the best way to describe it is like the best tasting cake I've had in a long time, but like it had like the sliverest thing of frosting at the top. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's actually how most people like their cakes.
shut up.
Eh, yeah, so I understand though. It's like we're wasting all these resources on making this giant open world of nothing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we rather make it so that this one neighborhood that the entire game is on is a very interesting world that changes, and
Yeah.
reacts to you? Wouldn't that be better? Like just make a neighborhood that's a mile deep rather than a mile wide city.
Yeah. Yeah, and then make them actually have personalities and shit that changes, and yeah, that'd be cool, man. But
Yeah, I actually think there are a couple games that actually
at
do
this
sort of
point,
accomplish that.
the shitty part is because they tagged themselves as a game like open world or whatever, and so they put this stigma of like it's gotta be huge, it's gotta be bigger than Skyrim. How many Skyrims is it? How many GTA 5s is it? And so we're just only upping the ante. Now it's gonna be how many Breath of the Wilds is it, or how many Red Dead Redemption 2s is it? And then it's gonna be like, oh my god, and we're not gonna be able to keep up. We're just gonna have to accept it and make something. Anyway,
We're gonna make something? Well,
no,
we're gonna
no,
make the
no,
next open
no,
world?
someone needs to make it. I didn't say we. What the hell?
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm a little biased against, the whole open worldness. After Mountain
Yeah.
Blade, I was like, is Mountain, like, because Mountain Blade was so focused on there's this shitty open world, but there's this amazing gameplay. I was like, why do we even have this open world? Like, why do I walk around in this giant empty wasteland in Fallout? That's not the fun part of the game. So why don't we just cut that out?
Yep. No, I agree. I love
Yeah.
that.
And in regards to your crafting, I actually don't do crafting that much in this game.
Well, you're gonna need to eventually to go to certain parts of the world.
Okay.
Like you're
Yeah.
gonna have to make potions to get like fire or frost resist before you get the gear and stuff.
I see. Okay. I just haven't gotten to that point in the game yet. Despite getting
you'll
to
get
the
there.
boss.
You'll get there.
Despite trying to kill Ganon, I haven't gotten back to that point of the game.
man. That's really ballsy.
Yeah, man. I actually killed the little guardian guys, and then the fourth guardian always kills me. So and it sucks. By the way, how do you kill those armored guardian guys? Anyways,
Oh, interesting. You don't know yet?
I do because
They
I've
wreck
killed a
your shit,
ton.
huh? Okay.
I've
What?
killed a ton of them. Yeah,
Oh,
because
well,
that's how I
but
got to Ganon.
oh, I see. Oh,
I
that's
just,
well, you can just run past them. That's
yeah,
how I
you
did it the
could.
first time.
Oh, okay.
The best way I do it is just reflect their beam shot at
Yeah,
them and then wreck it.
yeah,
It's
that's what
like
I've been
that's the
doing.
easiest way. Like I didn't know you can reflect it until a long time passed. I accidentally did it. I'm like, oh my god.
I figured it out like right after the starting area.
Oh, you're so smart, George. You're so smart.
Is there any other way? Because you can shoot them with
Once I
ancient
did that,
arrows, and that's about it.
yeah, but like, why bother?
Yeah, save your ancient arrows for the final boss.
Uh, can you hit? I think you can just hit. You can just hit them with normal arrows in their eye,
Yeah.
and it's a
Um.
lot easier if you have a horse and you just jump off and you get basically a free hit, and you just whack them. I think, but yeah, I think you have to like do it that 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they have a lot of health, so just hitting them with normal weapons
Yeah,
will do damage if your weapon is like really strong.
yeah.
But
But if you use a master sword, it does extra damage to them.
oh
So
nice.
it can kill them in like 1 or 2 combos, I think.
Oh wow. And here I am, just reflecting shots like 10 times. Um, I'm actually a little annoyed with the UI in general,
Yeah.
but I got over it.
It's serviceable, honestly. A little
Yeah.
clunky, but the crafting UI is the worst bit, but the rest is okay.
Yeah, so the perfect crafting system I've ever experienced, I feel like would never work for console because it was in a roguelike text-based game.
Oh, text
Well,
based.
it's actually not text-based. It was ASCII art.
Okay.
So it's not
I mean,
actually.
ASCII is text, so
Yeah, yeah. When I say text-based though, I thought you
I
would think of
understand, like
typing.
mud or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this ASCII game, you would press like $sign to open up the crafting menu,
All right.
and then you have to press a slash to find what you want to craft, and then you just type it in and use the like I think it uses Vim based controls. So J and K move up and down, and then you can do that to just navigate the UI and select what you want to craft. And there's a ton of things you can craft, and in my opinion, like almost everything is useful.
Huh. Okay.
Actually, no, you can't navigate with J and K. There's a I feel like you need to see a picture to really
But what?
understand.
But I don't understand what the genius is. So you craft items that are useful. So what's the genius part? I don't.
The genius part is I felt like I was actually it felt like a puzzle, I guess. Like you would get some flour and some water and you would bake some bread and you're like, haha, I'm a genius, I won't starve today. Because it's essentially a survival game. So
Okay, and then
think
like
Daisy.
you basically just have a bunch of ingredients and you mix
Well,
and match until you make something that makes
yes,
sense.
yes, there's a lot of things you can do. So let's take
Uh,
like a flashlight. You can unload the flashlight so it'll break down into like a flashlight and
batteries and
batteries.
flashlight. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can reload it just like a gun, and it'll reload itself with
Sure.
batteries. And then you can take things apart, so you can break down the batteries into its components.
That's
So
cool. I mean, that sounds cool, I guess.
yeah, so you
And
can
then
like
cuz like try
change
to
your
use
shirt into something else.
yeah. Like, and that makes you crafty. And then in a game where like a survival, that's really cool because like
Yeah,
everything you get could potentially be something you could use
exactly.
in a pinch.
Like
Like
you can
MacGyver that shit or
yeah,
something.
basically the crafting system interacted with the world, so you could cut down
I mean
fences and
the
get the
inter
nails.
yeah, see that's cool, right? Like that then the crafting system is like a game mechanic, not just like like that's like pretty integral and it's not just some tertiary like, oh, here's a health buff kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think 7 Days to Die kind of gets close, but because it's all click 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 base, I just can't stand the clicking. Like you said, clicking is basically a loading screen. Like
Why bother?
it'll take me 5 clicks. This is annoying. So the Vim part is actually pretty important. That you just type
That
$sign,
is
type in the
fast.
thing you
Yeah,
want to
it
do.
needs to be fast.
Yeah, and then you say, "Oh, it's that one." So you just press a couple buttons. You never touch the mouse, and boom, you make it because it's all turn based. There's no like loading screen. There's no need to load art assets. It's all ASCII.
I think there's a way to do it with like radial menus, honestly. I think radial menus need to be used more
Okay.
crafting.
Um, would it have like a ton of sub menus? Kind of
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
would go
yeah.
left and then up or
Yeah, you would
something.
basically have like I'd probably never go more than 5 categories, and then like that would go into like sub things and sub things. I don't know. I don't know. You can probably figure out a way to navigate a little bit better. I don't know. I think there's a way though, because like then you just do it really fast, and then you just move your mouse. You don't click. You just move.
Okay. Hmm. I'm not super sure if I can believe that because almost all the crafting games they have like you can do 10 things with it and they'll you can create like 100 different types of soup. Like, uh, maybe you would have to limit the number of things you would craft basically if you want to do a radial thing.
But I mean, you just need to. I need to know the parameters of the design. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
that's
just think they're like woefully underused. I think we can use them more.
yeah, that's what I actually loved about the ASCII game because you can make coffee, you can make marijuana, you can make cocaine. It's like there's a ton of things. I'm barely scratching the surface. You can make like every single gun in the game. You can make any car too.
Does every item have a
Yeah, every
ASCII
item I think.
representation?
Um, I think they're just giant categories. If it's on the floor, like if it's on the ground, it'll just have like, oh, if it's a cloth thing, then it'll have this character.
Okay,
Yeah, so there's like a million different types of shirts. There's like
sure,
undershirt,
sure, but
dress
they're all the
shirt.
same shirt character. All
I mean,
right,
they're the same shirt type basically.
all right, that makes
Like it's
sense.
cloth and then some of it's leather and some of it's polyester, cotton, whatever.
All right.
Anyways, uh, I guess that's all I have to say about this game, honestly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, thumbs up, but
Thumbs up. How's it compared to other Zelda games?
way better than Skyward Sword. I'll give you that, and honestly, better than a lot of Zelda games, especially some of the non-core lineage. But I think it's better than Twilight Princess. I think it's better than Skyward Sword. I think I think it's better than Ocarina, honestly.
Wow.
But I still like Majora's Mask more because of the structure of the game. I still think that structure is super interesting, and the
I
story and the plot is pretty hilariously dark.
my favorite my favorite I guess Zelda game is still Wind Waker. Sorry, man.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
I feel like
Um,
Wind Waker is still a better open world than
it's a nice
than Breath of
game.
the Wild. Even
Ah, come on. I don't know.
I don't think you can go anywhere in Wind Waker though.
No, no, there's a track you have to go with,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
which
thought.
is why I'm like, there's not really as open as you as so like what you can't compare it.
You can go in the open seas, man,
But
on this
I don't
designated
know.
track.
I think like A Link to the Past is still probably one of the best Zelda games.
Okay. I actually
So,
haven't gotten around to playing Ocarina of
well, A
Time.
Link, A Link to the Past or the first one even. Yeah, you haven't played Ocarina. You need to play
Yeah, I
Ocarina.
haven't even played the first Zelda
You need to
either.
play Ocarina. Oh, yeah, play the first Zelda, play
I
Ocarina, and play Majora's Mask.
I've really only played
And then play
Ocarina.
the new 3DS one. What is it called? A Link Between Worlds. Play that
Yeah,
one too.
I've only played Ocarina of Time, Seasons, and Wind Waker, and that's it.
So you have played Ocarina of Time.
No, no, sorry. I meant to say there's like a Game Boy Ocarina of Time. What's it
Like
called?
for the 3DS?
I'm just
I
gonna look it up.
There's a Link's Awakening.
Uh,
Which Game Boy?
Oracle. There we go.
Or Seasons of Oracle, Oracle of Seasons, and Oracle of
Oracle's
Ages.
yeah, Oracle of Ages. That's the two. I don't think I even beat Oracle
You
of
had
Seasons.
both. To get the final ended, you had to beat both.
Yeah, so I never bothered beating Oracle of Seasons, but
I mean,
I did eventually somehow stumble my way through Oracle of Ages.
all right, and
I
that's
was
it.
like 5.
Did
Yeah.
you do the Minish Cap?
I don't even know what that is.
See, there's a lot. That's another mobile or DS game or not DS.
I skipped
Game
the
Boy.
DS.
Game Boy.
Not gonna
You
lie.
skipped the DS? What the shit?
Not gonna lie. I skipped everything after GameCube. So it's went, GameCube straight to Wii, straight to the Switch.
Wow. If the game, there's so many DS games that are good. But I don't have the time, honestly.
Yeah.
I might not just get it.
I don't have the time either, man. So I'm thinking I want to get another Switch game, but I'm not super sure what I should get. Like, is there another Mario Kart coming out?
Not that I know of, and I really doubt it, dude. They already did Deluxe for now. Honestly, Mario Rabbids is pretty dope, but Odyssey's coming out in a couple weeks, so you might just wait for that.
Alright. Well, it's nice talking to you. I'm probably gonna play Warhammer all day.
Yeah, you
this
do that,
weekend,
dude.
man.
I'm probably gonna play some Guild Wars and mess around in Unity again to get my feet wet.
Well, I guess I'll talk to you later, man.
Alright, man. Later.